Thanks for joining us for Season 8 of the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And thanks for that kind introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we're the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, capital, robotics, automation, you name it, we are at that intersection. Jimmy, I got to tell you, I'm hyped up. I'm pumped up. I had an espresso. We are finished with our traveling for 2022. Just finished MERTEC, IFMA, and RFDC. Vegas was rocking. It was great to see everybody. I got to tell you, Jimmy, we got an amazing show to finish up at least our traveling part of the year. It's not our last show of the year. Sorry to tell everybody out there, but we have a great show. Lead us in because we got a great guest, and I got to tell you, it's amazing. It's amazing that we even can get these people on the show.
Amazing.
It really is. There's 6 people listening, and we can have Aaron on the show. Oh, Jimmy, that was your line. Go. I'm sorry. That was your line.
That's my thing.
You were the intro.
I was going to start telling jokes about the pictures we have, and the guests that we get are highly correlated. No, it was great to finish. It was great to finish the year of travel at RFDC. It was a busy year. I got to tell you, I know it was a busy year because my flight status on Delta has achieved a premium gold.
Jimmy, can you share with everybody your new Delta status? Is that breaking news?
Well, I'm still a peon. I'm still a peon compared to your status.
You are platinum now. That is one step closer.
I am platinum.
You are almost a man.
I gotta tell you, these conferences. That's why I do them. I go to the conferences to earn the miles to get platinum status. All right,
that's not going for the business, Jimmy. We're not going for business. It's the status, baby.
It's the miles. Fun boy. Okay, listen, we're very excited today for this episode. We have our guest, our friend, Mr. Aaron Noveshen, founder and CEO of Starbird, and wait for it, and the founder and chairman of The Culinary Edge. This is gonna be a good time.
Hey, Jimbo, we were lucky enough to be out in San Fran a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, we were.
And not only did we have a delicious dinner with Aaron, but I was fortunate to check out the Culinary Edge and see what was going on there. There was some crazy stuff going on there. Some crazy stuff.
Learned a lot about. We always knew Aaron from Starbird. Now there's a whole other dimensionality that we've got going on.
Way more than just a chef. He is way more than just a chef.
All right. Well, you know what? Before we have him jump off the phone, podcast, he's like, "Are these guys ever going to shut up and let me speak?" Let's get Aaron involved.
Such dimension to him.
Aaron, we're going to let you jump in. But before we let you jump in, one more before, and then we're gonna let you jump in. We have a new segment because our podcasts are released on Tuesdays. We now are introducing Trivia Tuesdays. As I like to say, all you Taco Tuesday people, lay off. We're not encroaching on Taco Tuesdays. It's Trivia Tuesdays here at Branded. Each week we share a fun trivia question about our guests. But here's the catch. You have to wait till the end of the episode, stick around to the end to find out the answer. So here we go.
Like anyone's sticking around, Jimmy.
They're sticking. They'll stick. They stick. All right, here we go. Aaron, here we go. True or false? Aaron was one of the first Lyft drivers ever.
Wow. Wow.
Aaron, first Lyft drivers ever.
We're going to have to wait to see what's going on with that. I mean, I can't imagine Aaron driving a Lyft. I can't imagine it. But we'll have to see what goes on, Jimmy.
Can't imagine you driving a Lyft. That's what I can't imagine. But anyway, the way you drive around New York City.
Was that a dig?
I just think you're a little risky, a little aggressive, Not a lot of stars for you. All right, we've bantered enough. Let's get Aaron involved. Aaron, we're going to let you take the lead. Finally, we'll ask you to give us a little background about yourself, and of course, your little elevator pitch, not only on Starbird but on the Culinary Edge. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, great to see you guys. It was so fun hanging out with you in San Francisco when you were out here. I definitely think we took that restaurant over, whether they wanted us to or not. It was an amazing night.
100%. Never invited back there again.
All good. Hey, listen, I'm a California native. Like to bring the California vibe to everything that I do and that my team does. Started the Culinary Edge 20 years ago, if you can imagine it, celebrating our 20-year anniversary.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
And what is the Culinary Edge? We're an innovation agency, food and beverage innovation, based in San Francisco. We've got the facility that Shatsy was talking about. It's a huge innovation center and test kitchen where our team members, who are a combination of
blew me away.
Michelin-starred chefs and strategists and marketing experts, and of course operators, people who've run businesses. We're not just popping out decks to people. We bring stuff to life at the Culinary Edge. And, we work with, over the last 20 years, it's been 25% of the top 200 restaurant chains, which has been pretty incredible, 7 of the top 10. And we're excited that we get to learn from and influence our industry every single day. And, the Culinary Edge is really what's behind the origin story of Starbird. It was about 6-7 years ago. Our team members got together and said, hey, we've been supporting the industry for a long time. We've been making a lot of folks a bunch of money, and we've got a lot of ideas that we want to bring to market. And the team got together and said, hey, let's start our own restaurant. Let's actually walk the talk. And that's where Starbird began. We put our process of analyzing the marketplace, looking at what was trending, where there was opportunity space to start a business. And we identified chicken about 6-7 years ago was going to blow up. And sure enough, we created a differentiated chicken concept with Starbird. And we're all about bringing positively delicious chicken to the masses.
Thanks for that introduction, Aaron. That is really awesome. But listen, there's a lot to get to. But branding and marketing, obviously branded. We're big on branding. Branding and marketing, super important to us. So firsthand the value of having a strong marketing platform. When it comes to restaurant brands, Starbird is killing it on that front, especially when it comes to promoting your LTOs. I mean, your LTOs are killing it. 2 of your most popular items are the Bacon Dutch Crunch and the Hot Bird. I mean, they started LTOs. Now you have salads being launched from your LTO program. What's your secret sauce to having such incredible LTOs? And for all you rookies out, that's limited time offers, Jimmy.
Limited time. Secret sauce, Russian dressing.
Yes, that is my secret sauce.
Our secret sauce is, of course, Star Sauce. What else is it going to be at Starbird? Our Star Sauce is our not to have drug reference it, but it truly is our crack. And it's the most delicious, positive, delicious sauce you can have on the planet. But getting back to, what do we do to promote and innovate? And obviously Starbird is the brainchild of the team at the Culinary Edge, and the team of innovators and chefs and marketers and brilliant industry minds that are over there running that thing every day. I mean, I'm the chairman there. Those folks.
You're very rarely there, Aaron.
Every day. I'm not doing the work there. They're leading the work there. I'm doing the work at Starbird.
When I went there, by the way, they were all like, "Who's this?" They knew me better.
That's awesome. So basically, the team there is looking at what's happening in the industry today and also where the puck's going tomorrow. Right? They're skating that way. And combining, it's not just what's trending, right? You have to look at a business and say, okay, what are the strengths of this business? What are its competitive advantages? What do its consumers want and need, right? And then matching that up with what are the right food trends that are happening in the future. There has to be some risks, but you don't want to be too far ahead of the trend. You want to be in the just right space. And I think how do we gauge our success? We're looking for 10% of sales. We want to hit 10% of sales on a promotion that we're running, and we've been doing it consistently back to back to back on our latest promotions. I will say Culinary Edge has been working and doing promotions for other brands all over the country. One of our clients, First Watch, we've been working with them. They're amazing partners. Shane and his team there, those guys are killing it. And we're so happy to be able to support them in the efforts that they do, along with other folks we work with.
I just want to try one of those Bacon Dutch Crunches.
Dutch Crunch is insane. It's a San Francisco thing. It made the menu. We're baking Dutch Crunch bread in our restaurants every day, and it's the most incredible thing when it comes out of the oven. Throw a couple applewood smoked bacon on that, Star Sauce, our crispy chicken. It'll blow your mind.
I like all of those things.
Shatsy, wait for it. I got it. Bacon Dutch Crunch, a San Francisco treat. How's that for the tagline? How's that?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Maybe already taken? All right, we don't know.
No, that's yours.
I must have done something right today and that's why I said, Shatsy, the word of the day for you is jealous, because I get another breaking news moment to share. Earlier this month, Starbird made QSRs best brands to work for list. So congratulations to Aaron and your entire team.
Unbelievable.
For anyone who knows you or Starbird, this comes as no surprise. We know that you believe in developing talent, developing a people-first culture, providing incredible incentives and educational programs for your employees. So again, congratulations. But what can you tell us about all that?
Well, first of all, I mean, of all the awards that we received, this is absolutely the best honor, right?
I feel like you say that about every award you receive.
Yeah, not so much. This one's close to home, seriously, because look, good food can come and go, right? Restaurant concepts come and go, but the people are what it's all about, right? And positivity is about what it's all about. I mean, our tagline is positively delicious chicken, right? It's our goal every day to create positivity, not only in the lives of the people who are walking in the door every day, but also the people who are working there every day. We want to make a difference in their lives. A lot of companies have different values that are really generic. Things like integrity and honesty and, hard work. And those things are good values. But the way we look at it, those are just table stakes, right? We want to think about, how do we make a difference in how we state what we're about and live those values? And a couple of the values I want to share today is, reaching for your personal peak and hyping your crew, right? And what does it mean to our team members to reach for their personal peak? It means every single day we're working on improving ourselves. All the while we're hyping our crew. We're surrounding ourselves and we're contributing to the lives of our coworkers and friends and families that are on our team and in our restaurants every day. This is something that's key and critical to us. And, I believe that this might be some of the foundation for why we're getting recognized for this type of stuff.
No
Aaron,
doubt.
listen, I think it's great, and I it's a hearty congratulations from us.
Is that a hearty and a Laurel handshake, Jimmy?
Hearty and Laurel handshake. No, because culture beats strategy, every day and twice on Sunday. And the reason why Schatz was giving you some grief, Aaron, was because the last time Schatz won an award, it was JV soccer in high school, and he got second place behind our other partner, Stephen Van Note, Mr. SCN, for second best player. So he's a little jealous. Okay, it's a little jealous.
I think I won an award for JV soccer, Jimmy.
A little jealous. That's the theme going on here.
100%.
All right. Listen, Schatz and I started this podcast because we love talking to people. And when I say we, I'm not French. I mean me. We learned along the way that sometimes our guests have a question for us. So let's kick off talking back. We're going to invite you, Aaron, to take the mic. Nothing's off the table. It's yours.
God, all I can think about knowing what you guys do every day. I mean, you guys define hustle, right? I've never met two individuals who define hustle more than you. And I would just say, knowing all the things that you guys do every day, from podcasts to running restaurants to building a technology fund, how do you prioritize what you guys do every day? How do you wake up and say, God, this is the most important thing I got to be focused on today? I'm really curious about that.
It's a great question.
That is a great question. Jimmy tells me what to do. He gives me a list in the morning, and he says, Schatz, these are the things you have to do today. And if you don't do it, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. So get this shit done. I mean, that's how I do it.
Oh man, there's more truth. There's more truth in that I think we should have admitted. But actually, in all seriousness, first of all, I'm obsessed with lists. So Schatz is not wrong to poke fun. I believe in lists. I will say from macro to micro, we are really enjoying this, and this asset class of which Schatzy's been in fully for the last 28 now, probably even closer to 29 years. And then I started with as a much younger man, left for a while, returned to, and now I'm all in. I feel truly lucky and I think we both feel really lucky to be part of this industry and entrenched in it. And if you love what you do, I mean, the expression, I guess, is you never work a day in your life. And we're really having a good time. To your point about prioritization, I think that's one of the biggest challenges we always face, because while people say money and time are the zero-sum games, I actually don't think that's true. You can always have a chance to make more money. You cannot manufacture more time. And the only way to do that is by setting priorities and letting some things go and again, prioritizing others. So I think that's something we certainly battle with all the time, because we are trying to do a lot and really capture what we think is a unique opportunity. This industry is being transformed. But I will tell you that we have very good partners. We have an outstanding team. And one of the secret sauces, and I say not secret sauce, is the community that we've developed and are building, of which, Aaron, we feel you're absolutely a part of it, has allowed us to really fight above our weight. A lot of the things Branded has its name on and Branded is out doing, we are very much benefiting from the community that has come together and rallied behind this, because everyone's busy, everyone's working hard. I really believe that, and we've kind of been a thread that has kind of been, been part of this mosaic. When we do events, we got people show up for them. We do podcasts, we got outstanding guests like you who show up for us. When we're doing our investments, we have other operators help us vet and diligence companies and give us their opinions on things. So the expression we use often is it takes a village, and I have to tell you, that's what allows us to continue to do as much as we do, and nothing more though than our true love and interest in doing it, and the fun we have, which again keeps our energy levels very high. Plus a lot of Red Bulls and double espressos throughout the day. But besides
I would just add, Jimmy, I mean, to your point about everything you said, I'm going to say ditto, but I will say one thing. The hospitality community, as you know, Aaron, it's just an unbelievable community. It's different than any other industry. Everyone is always looking out for each other. Whereas if you were in real estate, no disrespect to real estate, I find that probably they're not looking out for one another, if that makes sense. And maybe in finance they're not. I think the asshole factor, can I say that on our podcast, Jimmy? Can I say asshole factor?
You just did. So the FCC violation.
It's very low. It's very low. Yes. And it's just a great community. Traveling to these shows and all these events. I mean, one thing is everyone's having a good time and looking out for each other, even though we're all, not all, but most of us are competing with one another. We're all still incredibly cordial and friendly to one another. So it's really awesome. And that keeps our mojo going and us motivated.
Great question, and again,
it was, and I think my answer was unbelievable. Jimmy, yours was okay, but I think my answer was better. All right, listen, Jimmy, you know what we're going into? That's right.
I know
it's time for the food service feud, baby, and everyone loves this segment because we asked 100 billion random people through LinkedIn every Tuesday. We have over 100 billion people, and we asked them a question, and I want. Jimmy, you and Aaron are going to play the food service feud. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready to buzz in. I'm going to ask you the question, okay? Get your buzzers. What is your favorite pizza chain? Go. Aaron, go.
Ooh, I got to say what's local here in San Francisco, which is Delfina. They're a very small chain, but they're my favorite.
Not on the board. Jimmy, you can steal.
Wait, favorite? Okay, I was going to say my local joint. I was going to represent New York and go Patsy's, baby. But now that Aaron went with his local,
100 billion people on LinkedIn. It's what they said.
Oh, right. It's not what I feel. It's what they said.
Okay. You think?
Then I'm going with Domino's.
Ding, 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 ding. Jimmy, you get to steal it away. Jimmy's playing the feud. All right, and number 2, Aaron, one more shot. It's not what you think. It's 100 billion people. It's their favorite.
Right.
Domino's number 1. Aaron, what's number 2?
Can I beep in?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut's number 3, and Papa John's was number 2. And pulling up the rear at number 4 was CC's Pizza. And thank you for playing the food service feud. And that was brought to you by Chico's Bail Bonds, Jimmy.
Chico's Bail Bonds. Hey, give a shout out to our boy, the main man, the big man, Shaquille O'Neal, Papa John. And how about our man?
Papa John's number 2, baby.
Isn't our guy Non-Gala? Isn't that Mr. CC?
CC's Non-Gala and CC's Gala Pizza. And I think our friends over the Savory is via 313. Isn't it?
Didn't make the list, yes.
Yeah, but it's still delicious.
It is delicious. That is delicious pizza.
Delicious pizza.
Okay. All right, by the way, you asked 100 people in Utah.
100%. All right, Jimmy, let's go. Let's go to that trivia question we asked earlier.
Yes.
I think everyone wants to know the answer to that.
So back at the top of the episode, we asked Aaron whether or not about this story of, was he in fact one of the first ever Lyft drivers? So, Shatsy, care to take a guess?
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I think Aaron was one of the first Lyft drivers. Jimmy, what do you say?
I'm going to go with yes, too, because otherwise this segment dies on the vine.
It really, if he wasn't, there's no story. So we got to talk. We got to talk to our producer. It's really, yeah, okay. But we do. Let's hear the story behind Aaron being a Lyft driver, though. Went from chef and business school to driving Lyft. I mean, talk to us, Aaron.
Wow. So we used to do an exercise every morning, and our Monday morning meeting with the team at the Culinary Edge, and one of the team members had everyone write down on a piece of paper, if you could do any job you wanted, and the money was not an option, what would you do? And for me, it was obvious. I mean, I want to be a taxi driver. Like, I grew up in LA. I love shortcuts around town. I love driving. I love the spontaneity of it. But I could never, I'm not going to go drive a yellow cab around. So one of my team members said, hey, there's this thing that just started. It's this sort of ride share. You've maybe seen those pink mustaches, furry ones on the front of cars driving around San Francisco. And I said, well, I kind of run this company. I don't really have time to do it, but I couldn't sleep. I was like, I gotta figure out what this is. So I start reading about it. And it turns out it was started by some Cornell MBAs that were hospitality school guys. Mm-hmm. And so I applied for a job. I said, I'm going to go. I actually had to interview, and they only hired in the early days 10% of applicants. If you can imagine that today, that was
right. Yeah, today it's right? Yeah. Yep.
And they said, and I was rejected for getting the job because I would not dedicate over 10 hours. So I wrote a letter to the CEO and I said, hey, listen, I kind of got I got a decent car. I'll probably upgrade the level of service and experience, and I'm going to donate all of my proceeds to charity. And will you let me drive 3 hours a week on a Wednesday night? And they finally agreed to it. So I became a Lyft driver. I was cruising around in my sedan back in the day with the pink mustache, chained to the front, and it was a great experience. And I would ask all my customers, what their favorite charity was, and I would donate the money and proceeds to the charities of my passengers. And it was a great experience.
How much money can you tell? How much money do you think you donate?
Oh, thousands.
That'll tell us how good a driver you were.
Thousands and my rating, I think, was like a 4.99. There's nothing worse than that. 0.001. Yeah, my rating was solid. It was solid. It was good too because I slowed down a bit driving.
I like the whole idea of donating all your proceeds to charity also. That's awesome. That is a great story. And I got to tell you, what happened to those mustaches? That was really cool. We just grew out of the mustache on the Lyft cars. Did you have a mustache on your car?
I did have a mustache. I had they got pretty dirty. Yeah, they got really
a little dirty.
They got super dirty. They were definitely brown tinged pink mustaches. They got digitized, right? So I have one that lights up. I have a digital.
Yeah, well,
I still have all these.
Great story. And Jim, you know what time it is right now? Because we're getting to the end of the hour here on our podcast, and it's time for the greatest segment of all podcast history. Nielsen just gave the Branded Quickfire the highest ratings of any podcast in the history of all podcasts. It's something like, I don't know, we get like 14,000 people every day write in how much they love this podcast and the Branded Quickfire. So, Aaron, it's time to play the Branded Quickfire San Francisco Starbird Edition. Are you ready? 5 lightning round questions. Don't think too hard. Here we go. But you got to say, are you ready?
Always ready.
Favorite type of chicken?
Oh, wow. Oh, Hainanese chicken is my favorite. So good. From China.
Who doesn't like that? Where are you getting
dinner
from
also
tonight?
Like a fried chicken thigh on the side is pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
God, and not to mention Will, one of our chefs, the Culinary Edge. She's from Thailand. She made these wings 2 days ago. Actually, those are the best chicken wings ever.
Where are you getting dinner from tonight?
Sorry.
That's okay. I'll let it slide. Where are you getting dinner from tonight?
Oh, that's funny. You mentioned it's my birthday. Whoop, whoop. So
happy birthday.
I'm actually going to, Delfina, the pizza place I mentioned. They have a full service fine dining restaurant, which was the origin. And Annie and Craig Stoll, amazing restaurateurs. I'm having dinner at the restaurant with my wife.
Awesome.
So fired up about it.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Bring that bottle of Angel's Envy with you. Favorite food city in the world?
Oh, that's just not fair. That's not fair. I got to go hometown, San Francisco, California, because I know every time I leave for a long period of time, I crave the foods of home.
I agree. I think it is one of the top. I agree with you there. Favorite place to travel?
Oh my God, these are all like, what are your favorite kids kind of questions. I've been to 55 countries in the world, all 50 states. So I don't know. I think my favorite part of the world is Southeast Asia. Love the food, the hospitality, the excitement of things down there. My wife and I love traveling there. I think the one place I want to go is Vietnam next, but I would say that's part of Southeast Asia. Haven't been to Vietnam.
Me neither. And I got to tell you, anyone I speak to who has been there raves about it. So it's definitely on my bucket list. I'll join you on that trip. All right, last question, and usually the most controversial of all of the branded quickfire questions. If you were to challenge Jimmy Rye to a unicycle race, who do you think you have better odds of beating? Jimmy Rye, unicycle race. Jimmy, take off your shirt.
Sticks right in the wheels for you guys. I'd leave you in the dust both. Just
Yeah, I agree. I
never get off the blocks.
I don't even think you get on a unicycle. To be honest with you, Jimmy.
I was prepared to lose that one, but Aaron just said he's taking us both down. But I was prepared to give up on that one.
Yeah, I would too, because I don't think I get on a unicycle. Yeah, well, all right, but that was our edition of the branded quickfire.
There you go. Well played, Chatsy. Well done as always. I got to tell you though, you were a little free flowing with your numbers on this episode. We're going to talk about that 100 billion people polled. You were pulling numbers out of your. Anyway, all right, Aaron, we want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, and we want to again, we appreciate all the hard work you and your team do for the industry. Really enjoyed learning about the Culinary Edge when we were out in the West Coast with you.
Just so you know, Jimmy, by the way, I am getting those numbers. Those are not pulling them out. Those numbers are statistically proven, and you can fact check me on any of those things. Those numbers are real, Jimmy.
Oh boy! Please don't fact check us on that, those numbers. But and also love what you're doing with Starbird, and keep up all the great work. If you want to get in touch with Aaron directly, you can email the podcast team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com.
I do have Aaron's cell phone, Jimmy. I can give that to everybody, and then they can just text him.
That was only a season 1 mistake. We haven't made that mistake in
Don't you want that kind of personal connection with our listeners and the guest? Wouldn't that be better?
It proved not to be better. It proved not to be.
Oh.
You contact the branded partner podcast team. We'll make the connection. Finally, to our listeners, I want to thank you so much for tuning in with us. We know there are literally hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and that we appreciate that you guys continue to subscribe and help us grow our members.
I just want to add in, Jimbo. Aaron, if anybody wants to check out Starbird, find a location. How do they get it? Starbird.com, or is it Starbird Chicken?
Starbbirdchicken.com.
Starbbirdchicken.com. Go check it out. Order your food online. Go in store. Do whatever you want. And by the way, if you're looking for some help or some ideas on the culinary side, how do they get in touch with the Culinary Edge and Graham and the team over there?
Yeah, culinaryedge.com.
Very easy. Culinaryedge.com, guys. I got to tell you.
Culinaryedge.com. Don't forget
theculinaryedge.com. Check that out, everyone.
Highly
and all
definitive.
you restaurant guys or girls, I got to tell you, they're doing some amazing stuff, working some with amazing brands, and really, it's just incredible work they're doing over there to make sure you have your pulse on on what people are loving in the food space. Jimmy, I apologize. I just wanted to get that in there because I'm super excited about it.
All good, and happy to give a shout out to our friend Graham and the folks over at the Culinary Edge. Please join us next week as we welcome our friend, Mr. RJ Melman from Let Us Entertain You. That will be a great episode.
Hey, Jimmy, you know Let Us Entertain You has like 400,000 restaurants in Chicago, Jimmy? Did you know that?
Actually, I know that not to be true, but they got
a lot though, Jimmy. A lot of restaurants. I thought it was 400,000.
You might be a little high, just a little.
I don't know, Jim. You're not trusting my numbers, and I don't like it.
I'll tell you what. I'll leave the restaurants to you. You leave the finance numbers to me, and we'll be just fine. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Aaron, again, thank you, and we appreciate you. This is Jimmy Frisching, your finance guy, signing off and passing it back to my boy Shatsy, Mr. Numbers, Shatsburg.
Shatsy, Mr. Numbers, a.k.a. Restaurant Guy, signing off, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everything you do, and cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.